Oh, hello, Internet. Welcome back to the Type QQ channel, where we take a fresh new look at a game previously done on the channel. We've done Jetbuster before, but we haven't done it like this. Or we haven't really done it to completion. Here we are picking Arashi, and we're going for a 1cc. And although it's a game we covered before, we may not have covered it in this fashion. As you may have noticed on the, at least the thumbnail, you may have noticed this is called, like, the exorcism runs, or some kind of crazy bullshit like that. The reason for that is that this game we came really close to beating some time ago, or at least the last time we really covered it. And for some inexplicable reason, we got to the final boss, and we're like, oh, that was pretty neat, you know. But you know, we could probably beat that. However, we never really did. You know, we kind of walked away and like, yeah, we'll beat it tomorrow, and that tomorrow just never showed up, never really came to fruition, you know. And before we know it, before we knew it, you know, yeah, you know, we, you know, got rusty and just couldn't do the deed. So, you know, this title, among maybe a few others, have really haunted myself, haunted me, haunted the channel, thus birthing the name, you know, Exorcism Runs, where we're just going to do it, god damn it, we're gonna fucking do it until it's done, you know, hell or high water, you know, one man enters, hopefully leaves the 1cc, but maybe never leaves ever again. So, you know, here we are, getting back into things, certainly not expecting a 1cc this early back into our groove. But we'd like to at least hope that, you know, we've played a good number of games since our last coverage of Jetbuster that you think, you know, has some sort of weird, you know, skill, you know, that, or at least that we could, you know, apply to this, you know, some sort of relative skill that we can kind of like, okay, as a shmup gamer in general, we now can handle stuff as soon as we can sort of familiarize ourselves with some of the more, you know, odder bullet patterns in this game. And at least as you can see from the first boss, all is gravy, all is good, all's coming up Millhouse, good stuff. Although, admittedly, you know, I think we had a groove going about what metal level we wanted in level 1 to immediately get a extend. It may have been 4. It looks like we kind of rushed it till 5 and didn't get our extend. But at least this way, you know, I don't think it matters too much. You know, I think ultimately kill things, don't get hit is the ultimate strategy, not necessarily mid-maxing when we should have our, you know, 4th level to 5th level. As you can see, we got our extend right there immediately. You know, I think what happened was we were getting our level 4s at the end of first level, getting extend, and then having to level up to 5 and higher now. So I don't think it really particularly matters. Like I was saying, just don't get fucking hit. That's what you need to worry yourselves with more than anything else. Ultimately, if there's a theme for this video, it's the direct opposite of that. I had mentioned before that, like, you know, we just have to be patient. Not necessarily think that, like, you know, we have this enormous hill to climb. I think more than anything else, we just have to wait for that one run where we get lucky. You know, I think, you know, or just sort of we wake up, the sun's shining, it's smiling, you know, the flowers are dancing and jerking off, whatever, you know. We just have to wake up and it's our birthday. That's how I feel, where, you know, certain bullet patterns just happen to just whiz by us and we don't have to do anything. That's the direct opposite of this run, where it seems like when it came down to it, when certain patterns of slow and obvious proportions should have been whizzing by us, you know, they went directly between our eyes and we suffered a few too many lives in the process. Certainly, we'll pinpoint those out when they come along, but I can't really complain for getting back into a game that has some advantages over us. You know, we've had criticisms in the past using this character, Arashi here. He is one of the faster moving characters. You know, I feel he's one of the more powerful ones as well. He has a crazy good spread shot, and his alternate fire is just as good for just wiping out enemies in front of him. He moves fast left and right, which is great, and crazy bullshit as well, considering you can move slower, but you're using your alt fire to do so. So sometimes you don't necessarily want to use your alt fire, but kind of have to if you want to make any sort of precision dodging whatsoever. Using our alt fire there to make to capitalize on some of the bullet cancel, excuse me. So moving fast doesn't always work to our advantage with this character. So far, so good with 6 lives, a few bombs, one more added right here. As we continue on to level 3 here, you can see this is where we can kind of sit back with our, our ninja star and just rack it in. However, if I remember, this is, I think, where we first take our, somewhere in this level is where we first take our hit of bullshit damage. There it is. And I think that's going to be the difference between a good run and a run like so, is that we're going to be able to see things better and place ourselves better, and bullets are just going to pass by us without us like staring at a giant pink bowling ball, crushing into our skull. So now we're chasing back from Metal 3 to something a bit more respectable. I believe you can you certainly can get it up above 5 and 6. I think 9 is the highest. I haven't really looked into it, nor have I really ventured that high. The game is certainly generous enough when you're getting around 5 and 6 when it comes to points and extends. Although maybe we should try. We haven't really succeeded with the methods that we're using. In the past I was saying like 5 and 6 is just fine. Maybe we shouldn't. Granted, we've had, we do have like 6 lives. Well, they're 5 lives, but we've died twice. So that's 7 lives that we have in the bank, essentially, that we should be being able to beat this game with. There aren't 7 levels. So a life a level, that's more than fair to beat this game. But if we need more, do we need to consider a higher, point multiplier? You can see there's a ton of points to have here. Are we settling for times 5? Hard to say. I suppose if there is a series to start experimenting with some mad science before we go absolutely mad, it is the exorcism runs. It is now. However, I guess there isn't much that we can do right now than just try our best with maybe our old methods, just to make sure we have our, at least our footing back to where we were, so we're not absolutely lost and, at least have to learn the game once again, Tried for about bullet cancel. Needed some bullets, though. Nothing there to get any points from. And as you can see, I have a really great time with some patterns and a wretched time with others. You can notice this one is very simple when you talk about just the middle part with those bullets there. But anytime there's something like this, where there's 2 patterns overlapping of 2 different speeds, I just go cross-eyed, my mind goes blank, and I go, oh fuck, where's my bomb button? Like, get me out of this. Something like this, just fine. Just fine. Keep it simple, keep it stupid. I can find where the dead zones are, even if I try to zoom over there as quick as I can and make things really tense. The bullets in between the barrage of bullets there can be a little tricky. And actually, those last few coins bring us above times 6 on our medals as well, so we can certainly hit the next level running, despite the fact we didn't get a no-miss bonus there. But I mean, so far so good, at least so far okay. 5 lives, we should have had we should have 7. Times 6 multiplier, I mean, we have said, you know, months and months ago how this level works out. You know, this level doesn't necessarily want to kill you. As long as you're slowly moving left, and right, nothing will touch you. Do we remember that? You know, or do we, you know, are we caught flat-footed? Let's see, you know. Keeping those power-ups up as long as we can, both as a shield and both as like a sort of bullet cancel. Yeah, that's real stupid. I mean, you can kind of see how we moved right back into the position of those bullets. So we're down to level 4. A secret area here to pick up some extra medals. Certainly great for points. Once we kind of make our way through that, we're back up to level 5. We can start capitalizing on the coins. You can see here, just move back and forth. Keep it, you know, keep it kind of, you know, organized. No reason to flip out, you know, hide in the corner. You know, a lot of these enemies, as funny as it is, they're not aimed at you, you know, they're not really shooting at you, you know. It's kind of like, you know, a test. Don't freak out. Just know where your holes are and be where, you know, just know where your holes are. You know, like your mother told you. You know, if these enemies wanted to kill you and were firing at you, we'd be playing Raiden right now. Or Raiden, rather. However it's pronounced, Raiden. Either way, I have a terrible goddamn luck with that game. That game fucks me up hard. I don't know if we'll ever see a Raiden exorcism runs, because that would just take my life. We weren't even close to beating any of those games, my god. We're in the corner, not a good place to be, using a bomb. Using a bomb again. We certainly don't want to keep using bombs. Got 2 left. We have a couple more phases. So we're hoping to get some easy bullet patterns and some damage in. This one's not so bad. It is a sort of like things going in different, you know, timings, but one's slow enough that it's not too difficult, all things considered. This, however, living hell. R.I.P. Yeah. And you can see, just watch the panic and just confusion, where I'm just standing going, where's my angle? What am I supposed to do? Just bomb the fuck. Luckily, just through mercy and time alone, you know, we sort of weather the storm and able to sort of work ourselves into this mode instead, which is certainly a lot more manageable. On to the next level, all the same. Four lives. Final level as well, I believe. So soon? Question mark. No, this is not the final level. Second to final level. Chasing our multiplier back up, and it's not going to last. There we go, back up to 5. And you would have to imagine, as generous as this stage is, you know, it's pretty difficult when it comes to, like, quick projectiles. You can also see, holy fuck, it's just like, yeah, it's bonus points everywhere. And those sort of stops where you can kind of continually pick up stuff. So we're accidentally up to 6. Picking up a free bomb there, which will certainly come in handy. You know, become handy in the near future, I'm sure. I mean, if we had 5 lives and held 5 lives towards the the ending of the game or end of next level, I would be kind of happy with that. It's just the moronic dodges that really sort of cripple us before we even get there. But you have to think, well, they're being one of them right there. There being 2. And you can see how our metal multiplier has been, like, driven into the dirt. Down to 4. However, just crossing 5 as we get to it. Down 2 lives just like that. That is rough. We'll have to at least remember for next time. Use at least a goddamn bomb or 2 at that point. Because I do believe we get 2 bombs per life. There's no reason why we have to die twice and just kind of flush 4 bombs down the toilet like that. Not the hardest pattern, but it is two patterns kind of on top of each other. So it certainly be more hard for me than it really should be. Second form here. Pretty easy. You can kind of see it from a mile away, as long as you don't put yourself in a bad position. And this is just... Okay, so when does it get hard? I guess that's when it gets hard. What do I have to do to make something like that easier for me? Where there are more than one pattern to think about, like this as well. Fuck, right? A little bit of a rage bomb there for just like, fuck my life. Why can't I ever... why does it just sort of turn off, Why do I just kind of throw myself into the winds of fate going, well, if God loves me, he'll get me through this bullet pattern unscathed with no effort, and then I get hit in the head, We make it through with a mercy extend there, bring our life total up to 2. No bombs on that second life, however. Picking up this one, so it's not all is lost. But you can see, hey, we made it to the last level. As we usually did in our previous runs, in our previous coverages of the game. So, happy news. Not much is lost. Maybe some nuance of bullet dodging. That's for goddamn sure. Little sneaky bastard of a mini boss. Not very hard as long as you can get out of his way initially. Rather easy enemies here as well, like I was saying before. Enemies that don't want to kill you. So just slowly step out of the way. Don't put yourself in a position where you give them a reason to kill you. They're very much like idiot killers. Don't be an idiot, and they won't kill you. Don't give them a reason to kill you. This can be a little silly, though. Doing our best. And, of course, surviving the length of it, except for the final bullet, and that hitting us right in the head. So, if that doesn't sum up this entire run, I don't know what does, right? However, 5 metal, 5 multiplier. We hope that we can score some points. There are a lot of points dropping from these UFOs. They're not really posing much of a difficulty as long as we stay calm and not stupid as a bomb. These guys as well. You'll see primarily they have that like center area that kind of converges onto a point. You can kind of just sort of graze out of it. Just big blue wave of pickups. Nothing of a way of extends up into the final boss. So it is what it is. 1 life, 3 bombs, final boss. First form out of the 3 Question mark? We haven't really seen too many, so we can't really say. Pattern getting really fast. However, once we've traversed across to the side of the corner, we're trapped and killed. So, that sucks. So here we are. But hey, final boss at the very least for our first video. Can't really complain. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll do some more exorcism runs in the future.